Hi everyone, my name is Peyton Graber. I'm 20 years old and I will be a junior this upcoming fall at Fort Hays State University. I am going on campus and I will be living in Hays. I am going for the elementary education program. I was born and raised in Kingman, Kansas, which is a small town with a population of about 3,000 just west of Wichita. If you've never heard of it, there's nothing much that's really ever happened there. Actually, interesting fact, we do have a Dateline, which is about the only interesting thing about Kingman is we have our own Dateline episode. I graduated from Kingman High School. I lived in the same house for 18 years up until my senior year, and then I moved around a little bit before I decided where I was going to go to college. In high school, I played softball, basketball, volleyball, and golf, which I played 3 of them for 4 years and then the other one just for 1. So I actually worked a lot with kids and we put on little camps. So I was introduced to coaching and teaching them how to play a sport at a younger age. So I knew that I wanted to do something with either coaching or working with kids or something within that realm. I actually decided that I was going to go play golf at Barton Community College. I stayed there for a year. I loved all my teammates that I met. The 2 ones that I became the closest with actually lived in Mexico, so I learned a lot they taught me a lot about their culture and everything, and I think it's really cool, and I've kind of wanted to learn more about it. I ended up only going there for 1 year because I just decided that it wasn't for me my second year, so I took 26 credit hours my sophomore semester in order to graduate early. So I graduated from Barton in 2024 with an Associates of Applied Sciences. I actually was going originally for nursing, and I decided that nursing wasn't for me. I transferred to Hays in the fall of 2025 technically as a sophomore, but I was a semester ahead. So I was able to start the nursing program in the spring of 2025. And I just decided I was kind of iffy about it the first couple weeks, but everyone says that that's what happens when you're in the nursing program. It's hard. It's something like you've never done, which is true. So I was about 8 or 9 weeks in, and I just decided that I just did not want to be a nurse anymore. And education was the one thing that I had always really wanted to do, but I know the cost of living and everything, and teachers don't make as much as nursing. So I kind of decided to go with nursing, and that was one of the factors that helped me. And then the skills of nursing I just didn't love, and yeah, I just decided it wasn't for me. So since I was going into nursing, I've been a CNA at the nursing home in my hometown for 2 years now. It's been pretty off and on because I've been moving up to Hays quite a bit and to Great Bend, and every time I was here I had to find a different job. So actually also when I was working at Wheatland's my first summer, I was also babysitting these 2 amazing, the most sweetest little kids I've ever met in my entire life. So they were about 7 and 9, and I was teaching the 7-year-old. He was in 1st grade and he still had a little bit of difficulty reading, so I kind of was helping him learn how to read, and he was doing pretty well. And it just kind of sparked, I've always been around kids my whole life, but teaching this little boy how to read was just, it made me really want to teach. I also worked at Applebee's in Hays for a little bit. I didn't like the service industry, so I ended up quitting my job there. And then I also was working one-on-one with a lady, and she, as a CNA, it was really nice, but I had to move home and it didn't really work out in the end. So I grew up with a lot of teaching in my family. So my mom was originally a 2nd grade teacher, and then she moved to 5th and 6th grade English. My aunt used to be a vice principal, so she was around it a lot. And then my other aunt is a 2nd grade teacher now. So I've kind of always been around that. Whenever my mom was originally a 2nd grade teacher, she had these workbooks, and I would just take them after she was done with the year, and I would teach my own little classes. And she was a teacher at a different school than where I was at. So she was in Goddard and I was at Kingman, so we always finished a little bit early. So between 2nd and 5th grade, I decided that I was going to go. She invited me actually to come kind of work in her classroom, help her clean stuff up, and just help the kids. When I was in 2nd grade, obviously I didn't really help because I was the same age as her class, but getting older, I was able to help her more. Another thing, I came from a family of 5. I am the middle child. My older sister is 25. My younger brother is 15. So my dad is also a salesman, so yeah. And he's a baseball coach, and my mom was originally a volleyball coach, so kind of being a teacher and being a coach kind of work hand in hand, I feel like. Especially in a small town, they like to hire teachers as their coaches just because, I mean, you need more teachers, so. So my mom is the oldest of 7, so I have 24 first cousins, which kind of makes me, that's kind of where I originally started to like babysit, and I was just around kids all the time. And I'm the 3rd oldest of all 24, so I've been around little cousins my entire life. I still am. My uncle actually just had his first little girl. I think she's a month old now, and I mean, I'm just constantly having little cousins to take care of, and I'm always around kids. So I'm wanting to teach classes or grades 1 through 3, and I also am aiming to be a softball coach, maybe a volleyball coach sometime in the future whenever I find a good teaching job. And my one question for my instructor is, what is the one thing that has made you feel most rewarding being a teacher? I look forward to having everyone in class. Thank you.